Well, hello folks and welcome back. You join me for another seed sowing session and this time of year is probably my favourite. It's I love seed sowing. You find it very therapeutic and relaxing and that. And today we're going to be starting off with the tomatoes. Just have a quick look on my phone here. I've got my spreadsheet on here so I can keep an eye on what's happening. And I've got 5 varieties of tomatoes listed down that we're going to be doing. First of all is my usual favourite. There's Crimson Crush, Crimson Blush, Crimson Plum. That's also sold under the brand name of Nigel. And there's also one called Crocini. That's another one I'm doing. Just doing one cherry this year, and that's my all-time favourite of the cherry tomatoes, and that is Sweet Melon. Now normally I'd be sowing the tomatoes in the quarter cell trays, and you'll use that on the Garland Super 7, the long heated propagator. But this VITOPOD here, I've got plenty of room in. I've got some begonia corms with bottom heat on at the moment, and then I'm just starting to throw some shoots off, so I can get those out of there now once they've kicked them off, and that'll free up some space in there. So what I'm going to be doing is sowing me tomatoes in these 7cm pots. Just put one variety in each, and you'll space made fairly randomly like, and it makes it easier then for pricking out when it comes to potting on time. So let's get cracking. Right, we'll start off, say we do the Crimson Crush first. It's a lovely spring morning today it is, and sun's out. It's a bit nippy first thing, but as it comes round it warms the greenhouse up quite quickly. It's well in the 20s now in here, but we have got a cold snap, a little drop in the temperature, so wherever you are, beware of what you've got outside and give them some protection, or in the greenhouse even. Right, so I'm going to be sowing, say, Crimson Crush first. I've had a couple of people ask me is why sometimes I wear gloves and other times I don't. Well, the answer to that is sometimes if I'm in compost a lot during the day, it dries my skin out terribly, and I get all sorts of cracks and sores coming to my hands. Now I use gardener's cream, moisturiser, everything. It don't seem to have any effect or much effect. So if I'm going to be messing with compost for a fair amount of time, I usually pop the nitrile gloves on, and that does the trick. Although they can make your hands sweat as well for me. But that's the reason I do it, is say it's purely to protect my hands. If I'm just sowing the odd pot here and there, I can't be bothered to put the stuff on. But as it is at the moment, I'll use the gloves if I'm going to be a long while. To finish it off, I'll just give it a little top dressing with some fine vermiculite. You can of course use soil if you like, but that's just my preference. I find with vermiculite on the top and all, it's easier to gauge how wet the compost is because it will change colour. Right, that's that one done. Get on to the other 4. I'll just bring you up to speed with the sowing, what's been going on. First of all, I moved the begonia corms out of there. I've put those into the top propagator here. This is heated, but there's no heat on at the moment. Fortunately, most of these have actually started to bud, so they should be okay in there. If you do get that predicted frost or cold night during the week, I can easily flick the switch on there and get a bit of heat on. Anyway, moving into the small VITOPOD now. As you can see down there, we've done the tomatoes, which we started earlier. There's first of all on the left, I've done some cucumber and all, about 4 or 5 mini munch, which is the ones I tend to grow now. Tomato, crocini, Crimson Crush, Crimson Blush, and on the end there, Blenheim Orange. Them are the melons, if you remember from a couple of videos ago. I planted those. The Blenheim was no show, so I've done them again. In fact, looking at those, they need potting on. I might do that the next job actually. Looking at the front here, got some tumbling tom. I forgot to mention those at the beginning. I do like to have 2 or 3 in there, those in a hanging basket in the back garden. Crimson Plum and Sweet Melon. So this is heated. It's up to about 21 degrees, I think. I will do a bit of shoveling from out of the large VITOPOD in here with the 10 ton and that'll free us up a few more spaces in there as well. Right, been having another sort through the seed box, and these are the brassicas and other associated plants that I'm going to be sowing this morning. So I've got my tray. I'm going to be using these small cell trays that I get from the garden centre, the Ideal. And what I've done, I've marked each row separately so I can just put the number in there with my numbering system. So there's 6 in each row. I don't know how, I mean, obviously with something like Brussels sprouts I'll be doing probably about 18 plants. But I've got a number of these little cell trays that I can use them. They just fit nicely in the VITOPODs and all. So we'll get underway, start sowing the brassicas. For the newbies out there, the new people who's joining the channel for the first time, I have got an in-depth video of how I grow my brassicas from seed right the way through harvest. I'll put a little link up as usual in the corner there, and just pause the video or scan the QR code if you want to have a look at that in more depth. Right, I'm going to start sowing these and I'll bring you back once I get underway. I'm doing a different volume of my plants this year, the brassicas particularly, because say there's only 2 of us at home at the moment. So sprouts and that, normally I think I grow 18 plants or something like that. I'm going to put them down to 12, but I'll keep the same amount of cauliflower because we do eat a lot of cauliflower. Not sure about the cabbages because one thing we do is freeze a lot of stuff, and I don't think cabbage freeze is too good, so I'll probably just grow enough cabbage so we can eat it fresh straight out the ground. Right, let's get some seeds sorted. So that's the first tray done. I'm about halfway through sowing the brassicas. Just updated my list there. I'll run you through what I got. First of all, I got 2 rows, 46. That's the Brussels sprout crispus. I've done another row there, 47. That's another Brussels sprout, one called Brendan. 2 rows of 48, cauliflower called Clapton. 49 is another cauliflower, Zaragoza. Both of those cauliflowers are club root resistant. And bringing up the rear on the end there is number 50, and that's another cauliflower called White XL. Right, I'll go and sort the cabbages out now. Just show you what I mentioned earlier. These are the cell trays that I get from my local garden centre, and say what I do is just chop them up into whatever configurations I want, and they do the job. It's a fairly rigid plastic, these, so looking after them, you can get them to last a few years. I think some of these are like 4 or 5 years old. You can actually buy them online, but I think they're fairly expensive. Anyway, I've just got another tray here. This is a 6x7, and I'm going to be using them to continue sowing with the brassicas. We've got the second tray sown now. I'll quickly run you along what we've got here. 51, we've got 2 rows of that, and that's the Calabrese, the Iron Man. 52, we've got a Swede, Eleanor, 2 rows of that. 53, another Swede, is a Tweed F1. 54 is a Celeriac, that's one called Asterix. And right on the end, we got a kohlrabi, and that one's called Vienna Mix. It's a mixture of red and green. So I'm just going to give these a water from below, then I'll try and sort some space out in the VITOPOD. Quick look in the VITOPOD. As you can see, I've got both trays in there easily, and that gives me still a bit of room down here. So now I'll go and sort some cabbages out to sow. And there we have the cabbages done. Just 2 varieties this year, both summer type. 12 of each. On the left we have the Greyhound, in memory of my old mate Dave Taylor, who always called them dog cabbage. And on the right is Golden Acre. I say 12 of each. I've probably only used about 6 of each and donate the others, but I always tend to grow more than I need, because you know what happens if you don't. If you haven't gathered already, I'm just sowing me first lot of peas. I do these in gutters, 2 gutters at a time, and I do 3 different sowings, usually about 3 to 4 weeks apart. The compost I'm using is old spent potato compost out of the buckets, and the peas I use my old favourites, and these are called Hurst Green Shaft. And I buy mine from a company called Moles. As you can see, there's a fair amount in there. Because of the amount I sow, buying seed packets from like the garden centres in the standard size would work out really expensive. So I'll just buy these. This is 1 kilogram, and I think it's about £6 or £7, and that'll last me at least 2 or 3 years. So I'm going to carry on and do this. For the new viewers to the channel, I have got an in-depth video of how I sow my peas from there right the way through to harvest and planting them out into the ground. If you want to have a look at that, I'll pop a little video up here. Pause the video and click on the link, or even scan the QR code and it'll take you there. Right, I'm going to carry on with this. We did have a very cold night last night. Looking at my weather station, it went down to -1. And I was a bit of a concern really, because the greenhouse down the bottom of the allotment down there, I've got all my onion seedlings in and there's no heat in the greenhouse. Anyway, I've been down this morning and they seem to be okay. But what I will do is sort a little bit of fleece out. And if we've got any more of these cold nights forecast, I'll just pop that over the top. I will be doing a little video down there later on in the season. That usually houses me tomatoes, cucumbers, aubergines, and sometimes I put a few peppers in there. And normally, if you watched the channel before, you'll see that I've grown in the AUTOPOTs, quad grows, and the self-wicking system. I'm probably not using the quad grows this year. I'm going to be using the AUTOPOTs all the way through. And AUTOPOTs will last in there, feeding 4 stations. The tank will last about 2.5 weeks, and it's 47 litres. What I want to do is put 1 tank in there so it feeds all the stations. Now I probably might have up to 12 in there this year. And I just want to pass this little tip on if you're looking for it. I want to put a tank in there, but not permanently. And I noticed on Lidl, the Swedish, is it, or German, sorry, German store, they've got a flexible water tank in. I've actually purchased one. It's 250 litres and it was only £15. So I'll be able to put that in there and dismantle it when I'm not using it, so I ain't taking up valuable space. And I've looked on the internet, and for a 250 litre, you'll sometimes see them listed as a flexi tank, you're paying like 30-35 quids upwards. So for £15 and the 3-year warranty, it's a no-brainer. So check it out. There they are, all done now. I haven't bothered watering these because the compost was fairly moist anyway, and peas don't like it too wet or they can rot. So these will be going into my greenhouse in the garden onto the floating shelf which runs down the centre of the greenhouse. Just a quick look now, there's the gutters in position. There's 2 big window vents running along each side of that, so I don't think we'll have any issues with overheating. I just need to keep my eye on the water, make sure they don't dry out. And I reckon they'll be up in a few days. And join them around this side here, there's some potatoes which are chitting. There's some Sharps Express and Charlotte. Both of them are doing nicely, and I hope to get them out into the tubs in the next few days.